Okay, welcome to part two of two sums. As mentioned, this is often asked in an interview. I have been asked this multiple times, so it's good to have a few ways to solve these questions in the back. In one of my old videos, we used a nested loop, which is a way to solve, but not the best way to solve. So here is another best way to solve, a better way to solve, not a best way. So let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and your target is 7. So aside from nested loop, what we can use is hash map. So basically how hash map works is um, it runs in a key value pair, having key being unique, cannot have dupes, while our value can have dupes, right? Um, so this is how we will solve using a hash map. Uh, so we will first run one loop to create a hash map. So a hash map is not the same as a array. It's um, it has better access time. So this loop will be how this will work is 0 is a position. So 1 will be 0, right? And 2 will be 3 will be 2, 4 will be 3. So the value being the index position, while the key will be our numbers. It will all make sense in a bit, right? Uh, then we'll run a second loop on our array. So in this second loop, we'll take the target minus the value, which is in this case 1. 7 minus 1 will give us 6. And then we will use the 6 to check if the item exists in our array, in our hash map, sorry. Obviously it doesn't, so we will go to the next loop. 7 minus 2 will give us 5, which doesn't exist again. Now 7 minus 3 will give us 4. Now 4 is a key in our hash map. So yes, and because of that, we will return index 2 as well as the position of 4, which in this case is 3. So we will return 2 and 3. This is our return factor. Now, if you're familiar with hash map, you'll know that hash map cannot have dupes, right? Meaning if I have encountered a situation such as example 3. So let's do example 3. T equals to 6. So what happened? I'll run a loop to create the hash map. Not sure if you can see. So we'll run a loop. So the loop to create the hash map will start with 3, will be 0, right? And then remember how we cannot have duplicates, so it will throw an error, or we'll use the put method of hash map. That means we replace 3 pointing to the value of 0 with 3, 1. Now most people will be confused, so how do we access it thereafter? So that's why we need a secondary check. So this secondary check will check if our for loop, our index here, reflects the same amount. So for example, if the index 2 is the same as the index 2 that we want to respond, we will throw an error and just go next. Yeah, something like that. would be how I will answer this question. Um, yeah, so let's try to code this out. It will make more sense once I write the code out. Okay, so how do we start off? We want to create a hash map, integer, hash map, okay, and then for integer I, nums, um, oh, wait, sorry. I don't think this is the way to do it. Minus the nums, dot length, increase. And then we will put the numbers of I in the position in. Okay, now we will loop 0 minus the nums, increase, and we will do the checking. Integer remains will be target minus outside. And then if map, we will need to get from the map dot contains key. So if it contains the key, which is the remains, this scenario, we want to return it. Return new integer. Okay, so we return map dot get the remains as well as I. Let me just check if order matters. Return any orders. Okay. Yeah. So that should be return new integer 0 to close out. Okay. Okay. So there is a problem, which is regarding this scenario, which I have not input. So what we do is our put will take over. So we want to check that map dot I, sorry, map dot get remains, sorry, does not equals to getting the I, which is 0, is not same. Let's map dot get remains. Right. Will this work? And I will being 0. Map dot get remains, so I think it's this way. If 0 does not equal to 1, then we can continue. Yes. So that's my solution. Yeah, so this is my second solution to these two sum issues. Yeah. Feel free to let me know if there is a better method to solve. Otherwise, this is how I often solve these questions when I encounter it in interviews. Thank you for watching.